Welcome back, children. Today we are going to revise a writing section in this class. The very first writing section that we did was letter writing, and especially the formal letter writing. So, the same topic I have picked for today. Hopefully, everybody is present, and don't forget to carry your rough notebook and a grammar book with you. Okay, so wherever you think that you must note down the things, please do so. Clear? And after the class, you can once again go through the chapter. This is already given in your grammar book. Clear? So now let's learn how to do the letter writing. So first of all, we must know that why do we do letter writing? Means what is the importance? What is the significance of letter writing, children? So basically, beta, a letter is a conversation through written or typed words, and it is an easy, cheap, and quick means of communication. So what did you get from this definition? What is a letter? Letter is basically a means of communication. Communication means when the two people talk. Okay, and it is a written or typed word communication in which something is written, and through that written material the information or message is sent to the receiver. Okay, now you can say that, ma'am, when there is a mobile or WhatsApp or email facilities, so why are we learning letter writing? Children, earlier when there was the people were not aware of all these things. They don't have the phones, they don't have the social media, all these platforms were not present. So people used to communicate to the distant people through the letters only. Okay, and even in today's, at the present also, there are many people who love writing letters. The first thing, it's a very cute, loving way of communicating a person, and some people keep the letters as a collection of their treasure. They love to cherish these letters. That is why today we are learning the letter writing, and a part of that is still, if you go to any office or any that work to get done by the any governmental officers, so you have to give an application for that. You have to give a written application for that, and that application is a part of letter writing only. So for that sake, we have to write letters even in today's date also. That application that we write to these government authorities, these government officials to get our work done, these applications are also a type of letter only, and that only we are going to learn today. Clear? So first, understand what is a letter. So a letter is a communication through written or typed word. A part of that, children, letter writing is an art. It is not like that you write anything in all type of letter. Basically, the letters are of two types: informal letter and formal letter. So informal letters are the letters that you write to your family and friends. Clear? So what do you do in that letters? That letter should be respectful to the superior. That letters must have courtesy to your inferior. They must be familiar to friends and simple to children. Same as if you write any condolence letter. So that should be very tender and sympathetic. Same as if you are congratulating someone through the letter. So that should be very lively and joyous. So while writing the letters, we have to be very, very sophisticated with our language, and we follow a format also. Informal letter and formal letter both have different format. Today we are going to learn formal letter only. In our syllabus today we will learn a formal letter only. What is formal letter, children? Okay, so formal letters are the letters that are written to officials. Means the formal letters are official letters written to firms, institutions, editor of a newspaper, and government officials. Okay, institutions in sense like as a student Your institution is school. Okay, same as the people working in different departments, different offices, their institution is different. Okay, so here, as we are learning the format of a formal letter writing, so we are talking about the institution. And what is that institution? School. And who are the authorities of that institution? Your principal sir, your class teacher, your headmistress, your coordinator ma'am. A part of that, the lab in charges, your librarian, your transport in charge. They are the officials, authorities of this institution, school institution. So whatever letter you write them, that is a formal letter. And that is called an application also. Okay? So basically you need to write a formal letter. When you write an application, so that is a formal letter. So while writing a formal letter, you have to take care of few things. The first thing is that a good formal letter must be brief. Means we talk point to point only. There should be no hi hello. We don't ask that how are you, I am fine, say hope same for you. No, such sentences are not used in formal letter. Second thing, formal letter should be clear and to the point. Clear and to the point means talk word to word. What is your problem and what do you want from the officials to be done? Only those things are mentioned in formal letter. No extra words, no extra things are mentioned. And the third thing is the language should be very formal and polite. Basically, we make a request while writing a formal letter. Okay, we hardly give any order. We merely request, make a request while writing these formal letters. So our language should be very polite and formal. Okay, in the form of, in the tone of requesting to the officials. Now let's talk about the format of a formal letter. How should we write a formal letter? Here you can see on my screen, children. The first thing that we mention, there are many things: sender's address, date, receiver's address, subject, salutation, body of the letter, subscription, and signature. Okay, so these many things are there in the formal letter. Now let's talk about them one by one. The first thing that we write in a formal letter is sender's address. Who is sender? Sender means जो लेटर भेज रहा है. If I am writing this formal letter, so who is sender? I am sender. If your father is writing a letter to the school, then who is sender? Your father is sender. And if suppose you are writing a letter to any official, then who is sender? You are sender. So at first we write the sender's address, my own address, the person who is writing that letter. Suppose my address is B22 Janki Nagar DLW Varanasi, and here I am the sender. I am writing this formal letter. Clear? Now second thing is date. Date means the date, that date will be written here, the day you are writing this letter. Suppose I am writing this letter on 10th of October. So here I have written October 10, 2020. Nobody is going to write the date in the shortest form as we write on the board or in our notebook. No. Specifically, you will mention the month's name, not the month's number. There should be month's name. Clear? Now I have written sender's address, I have written date. Now at the third place, receiver's address. Receiver means the one who is receiving that letter, जिसके लिए आप ये letter लिख रहे हैं. Suppose I am writing this letter to the principal of your school. So who is receiver? Principal sir is the receiver. Suppose your father is writing this letter to any official, to the manager of a company. Then who is the receiver? The manager of that company. Same as suppose you are writing this letter to your class teacher, okay, to your class teacher. So who is the receiver here? Your class teacher is the receiver here. So here the receiver's address, with that receiver's address will come here. So suppose I am writing this letter to the manager of Vrinda Private Limited Company. And where is this company? This company is in New Delhi. Okay, so my receiver's address is the manager. The next line will be Vrinda Private Limited. Then the next line it will be New Delhi. Everybody knows the format of address writing? Yes. In the same manner we write the address. The first line is for house number or the lane number or the person's name you are writing the address. The second place is given to the city, and the third is for that main state or that city. Clear? Now let's come to the subject. What is subject in a formal letter? But a subject is nothing but the problem you are going to discuss. If I am writing this formal letter for any poor quality of water supply, so my subject will be supply of poor drinking water. Suppose I am writing this formal letter for changing my section to my class teacher. Okay, then what will be the subject? To change my section. Suppose you have lost your library card और आपको नया चाहिए. So what will be the subject? To issue me a new library card or a duplicate library card. Clear? So subject means I am going to discuss my problem, and they should be very very short. Okay, in 6 to 8 words we write our subject. We don't write full sentences. No, in a very short. To do this thing, to issue a library card, to change my section. You can see how I am writing the subject. Huh? The poor quality of water supply, the the irregular supply of electricity in my colony, okay, or the bad conditions of roads. So in this way we write the subject in a very short manner, in a very brief manner. We mention in 6 to 8 words. Now let's come to salutation. Salutation means addressing the person. Whether if the authority is a male, you say sir. If the authority is a female, you say ma'am. अच्छा, suppose you don't know the gender of the person. आपको पता नहीं है कि authority कोई male है कि female है. तब आप क्या करेंगे? In that case, you will mention only sir. If you are not sure about the gender of your authority, write down sir. And sir will be accepted by the both. Clear? Now, let's come to the body of the letter. In the body of the letter, minimum we write 3 paragraphs and maximum we write 5 paragraphs. Body of the letter I will discuss separately. Let's finish the format first, then I discuss the body of the letter, how to write it, children. Clear? So first we have written sender's address, second date, third receiver's address, then fifth we have written, fourth we have written subject, then fifth we have written salutation. After writing these 5 things in formal letter, now I will start writing my letter. Why I am writing this letter. Clear? Now after that, when you have finished your letter, you will write the subscription. Subscription means like your faithfully or your sincerely or your truly. Okay? Sorry, children. So such type of subscription is given, and at the last you write your name. The sender write his or her name. Clear? Now let's come to the body of the letter. How should we? As ma'am told you, there should be at least 3 paragraphs or maximum 5 paragraphs. Nobody is going to finish the body of the letter in 1 paragraph. No, wrong. So how I'm going to write three paragraphs. The first paragraph includes the introduction. Introduction, your introduction and the introduction of the problem briefly. मीन्स आप कौन है एंड आपको कौन सी प्रॉब्लम यहाँ पे डिस्कस करनी है, that you write in the first paragraph, first paragraph. Okay, that is called introductory paragraph. Okay, now let's come to second paragraph. In that paragraph you mention the causes and effects of the problem, कि वो प्रॉब्लम क्यों है और उसकी वजह से आपको क्या परेशानी हो रही है. These things are mentioned in the second paragraph, the causes and the effects. Now let's come to the third paragraph, the conclusion. In conclusion paragraph, you mention the suggestion or ideas or the advices you want to give for solving the problem. Means अगर आपके पास कोई solution है उस problem का, so that you provide in your third paragraph and end up with thank giving sentence. Clear? So first paragraph you have written introduction, your and your problems introduction. Okay, in second paragraph you have discussed the causes of that problem and उसकी वजह से आपको क्या परेशानी हो रही है, the effects of that problem. Then in third paragraph you have given your suggestion and ideas कि government उसको solve करने के लिए क्या कर सकती है. Fine, the officials, what can the officials do to solve that problem? And at the last, you have given your thanks, okay, for whatever step they will take to solve that. Clear? This is, in case if you want five, so when it becomes five paragraph, when you want to discuss your problem in detail, when there are many things caused to that problem and there are many effects of that problem, so in that part only, in the second paragraph only, you can divide, the second paragraph can be divided in few more paragraphs. Clear? But in that case also, the first paragraph and the last paragraph, there will be no change in their content. They will carry the same matter as much you should write in them. Clear? Now let's take a sample question, children. Write a letter to your principal suggesting ways to improve spoken English in your school. We are writing a letter to the principal and such letters are called applications. So here I am writing application. If you write any letter to your school authorities, whether the principal, teacher, lab authorities, lab in charges, your sports teacher, or anyone in the school, so that is an application. Same as to the officials also. But here I am talking about the letters written to the school. So in that application, we do a little change. Beta, the application written to school don't carry your address. We don't write send us address. We directly start with receiver's address. Here the receiver is the principal, as you can see that. Write a letter to your principal. So who is the receiver in this letter? In this application, the principal is the receiver. So that's why I have written the principal, Sandeep Academy Samne Ghat, Varanasi. Please notice, the first letter of all the words is capital. Can you see that? Take care. While writing the addresses, keep the first letter of each word capital. Clear? I'm not talking about the prepositions and conjunctions. No, I'm talking all about the nouns. Now, first of all, you have written receiver's address, then you have written the date. Suppose this letter is written on September 11, 2020. Clear? So that date is written. Now, what should we write next? The subject, my problem. What is my problem here? To improve spoken English in school. Here you can see, beta, the problem is always given in the question. So you only have to pick that problem from the question and write it in the subject. Here you can see in the question it is written ways to improve spoken English in your school. So the same problem is given in the subject to improve spoken English in school. Clear? Now let's come to the salutation. So, okay? Now let's come to the body. Here I told you the body contains at least 3 and maximum 5 paragraphs. Let's start with my first paragraph is, with due respect, I want to draw your attention towards the poor English spoken by children in our school. You have given your introduction, I, and the problems introduction. Poor English spoken by children in our school. Now second is for causes and effect. The students in our school are quite poor in English. This is the cause. And feel shy when it is to speak in front of others. It damages the reputation of our school and also affects their future. In the absence of accurate knowledge, they fail to perform well in other subjects also. Now I am going to write my third paragraph, the conclusion one. I request you to organize some workshops, seminars, quizzes, and presentations to encourage children to learn English. I shall be highly thankful of you for your fruitful action in this direction. Then you have written thanking you. Your body is over. Body of the letter is over. You have written 3 paragraphs with the thank giving statement. Now what is subscription? Yours faithfully. And at the last, your name with the class. You have the senders. Who is the sender? You are the sender. So you have written your name and class with section. Clear? This is an application. Now, ma'am is going to discuss one more type of formal letter, that is official. Ye official, this letter to you have written to your institution school. Now suppose you are writing a formal letter to any other institution like to the editor of a newspaper or the manager of a company or any official in a government office, then how will you write? That application has a different format. Am I clear to you? The, the application that you write for your school, that has a different format that you have just seen. Okay, we start with the receiver's address, date, subject, salutation, body of the letter, then subscription and your name. End up. Now, in the case you are writing a letter to the editor of a newspaper, then what is the format? Here you can see that you are Priya Avasti, a native of B22 Maurya Vihar, New Delhi. Write a letter to the editor of a newspaper highlighting the bad condition of roads in your area. Beta, pay attention. Here in the question, many of the information have already been provided. You can see that the sender's address is already given. The problem is given and sender's name is also given. Here you or me are not the sender. Who is sender? Priya Avasti is sender. And her address is also given. So the same if the question carries some information, so we are going to use the same information while writing the letter. So let's start writing a letter to our editor. The first of all, we are going to write the sender's address. My sender's address is B22 Maurya Vihar, New Delhi. Clear? So here this address was already given in the question. Second is my date. The letter is written on 11th September. Third is this letter is written to the editor of the newspaper. So who is the editor? The editor. The newspaper's name is the Times of India. And where is this Times of India's office? In New Delhi. Clear? So editor, that is the receiver's address. Now what should be the next thing? The subject. So what is the problem? What was the problem mentioned in the question? It was highlighting the bad conditions of road. So the same problem I have picked for the subject here. You can see that. Clear? Now let's talk about the salutation. My salutation is sir. Let's come to the body now. Here again on my screen you can see that This letter carries three paragraphs. Clear? Now let's see the language. The letters that we write to the editors of the newspaper, we always start with the same line. Through the columns of your steam newspaper, I would like to draw the attention of the concerned authorities toward the bad condition of roads in our locality. The condition of roads is deplorable with countless potholes, making the purpose of the road a failure. Moreover, things get even worse during the rainy season when potholes are not visible due to poor draining system. Potholes, do you know? Pits, the ditches, गड्ढे बन जाते हैं जो आपके रोड पे, okay? Become heavily accidental prone. The residents are facing a lot of inconvenience due to the road condition. Now, here in the second paragraph, you can see that I have discussed the causes and effect. Now, let's come to the last conclusion part. On behalf of the resident of Maurya Vihar, I humbly request you to pass on this information to the concerned authorities and use the influence of your esteemed organization in getting the work done. I hope that you considered the request of the residents of this area and take proper action. In this way, I have framed the whole letter thanking you. That is my thanksgiving statement. Then I have finished up with the subscription. Yours faithfully. And what will you write at the last? Your name. Sender's name. Who is sender here? Her name was given in the question. Priya Avasti. Clear? So now the formal letter is clear to all of you. If you are writing an application to your school, there we don't write sender's address. But when we write an application to any other institution, then we have to write the sender's address. Now here is your homework class. Write a letter to your class teacher requesting her to make you the member of literary club. So here you know that what should be as letter is written to the class teacher. So the class teacher Sunbeam Academy Samnika, that will be the first information. Then you write date. Then you write subject. Subject is already given. Then here you can see on the screen that subject was already given in the question. Then salutation comes. Then you will write the body. Body ma'am is not going to provide. In that case, ma'am will check your language. Clear? Must keep it in a brief, write it in a brief manner. Okay? Don't write it too long. A brief letter I want. And then at last you will end up with your subscription, your sincerely or truly or faithfully or your obediently. No other subscription except these. Clear? And at the last you will write your name with class and section. So I want my all the children must do the homework. Clear children? That's all for today's class. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.